Maybe the reason that you feel stuck isn't really because you don't know what to do. Maybe it's just because you're trying to figure out what the hell happens 10 steps from now. But you don't need that answer yet. You don't even need the whole damn plan. You just need the next step. Are you ready to win despite everyone who's ever said you wouldn't? Then let's go. It's time to prove those doubters wrong. Hi, and welcome to the Last Laugh, No Apologies podcast. I'm your host, Kristine Christensen. I'm a mom, passionate entrepreneur, and success coach. If you're ready to finally flip the script on all those doubts in your head and the doubters in your life that have been holding you back, you, my friend, are in the right place. It's time to dust off that crown, show them what you're made of, and remind them that you are the main character in this life story. Get ready, because you're about to make them regret that they ever doubted you, and I'm here to cheer you on. Each week, we'll dive into mindset shifts, inspiring stories, and practical strategies that are designed to help you realize your worth, embrace the amazing woman that you are, and step into your power so you can start living your life unapologetically. It's time for some real talk, some laughs, and some transformation. Are you ready? Okay, let's dive into today's episode. Hey, it's Kristine. Welcome back to the Last Laugh, No Apologies podcast. I am so glad you're here. So, why do we think that we need to know everything first before we start? I've been thinking an awful lot about this lately because I actually have a habit of making things way the fuck harder on myself than they really need to be. I'll have an idea, something I want to try or change or create. And of course, instead of asking myself, okay, what's the next thing I need to do? Nope. My brain just wants the entire fucking instruction manual. I want to know how it's going to work, whether I'm going to make the right decision, and preferably how the hell this whole thing turns out 6 months from now. You know, nothing unreasonable, right? And I don't think I'm alone in this. We say that we're waiting for clarity before we start. But sometimes I think what we're actually waiting for is certainty. And unfortunately, those are not the same damn thing. Clarity can tell you what makes sense to do next. Certainty would tell you exactly how everything is going to turn out. And unfortunately, life just doesn't give us a whole lot of that second one. So what the hell happens then? We start thinking about it more and more. We do a little more research. We wait because we just don't feel fucking ready yet. Sometimes we really do need more information. I get that. But sometimes we're trying to think our way into a guarantee that does not exist. And I have been absolutely doing some of this with my own business lately. I've been trying to figure out what I want to create, how the hell I'm going to turn all of the things I've learned over the years into something that actually helps other women. I ran into this for both my podcast episodes and different offers that I think about bringing into the world. They're pretty important questions, but at some point, I had to realize I am not going to think my way to every answer. Some of the answers aren't even available from where I'm standing right now. I have to do something, try something, get some new information, because this is the part I think we get backwards. Sometimes clarity doesn't come before that step. Sometimes the step is what gives the clarity. So you move a little bit. You see something that you couldn't see before, and then you decide what to do from there. But I know what you might be thinking, and I think it too. Shit, but what if you take the wrong step? Now, here is the part that I do not particularly enjoy. You can take a step and then discover that it was not the right one. Fuck. Because Wouldn't it be nice if every damn time we finally worked up the nerve to do something, life just automatically rewarded us with, "Congratulations! Great choice. It's correct. Proceed to your fabulous new fucking life." Well, I don't know about you, but that has not been my experience. And actually, I just had a pretty good reminder of this recently. So, I recently invested in something for my business that I was really, really excited about. I thought it was going to help me finally take that giant leap forward, right? And it did help me. It helped me get more clear about the women I want to help, who I want to serve. And I found some new language and ideas that really connected with me. And I discovered some things that I absolutely do not want my fucking business to look like. But when I got to the end, it didn't bring me as far as I thought it would. And I remember thinking, well, fucking A, because I wanted something a little more final. And when you invest in something that doesn't give you the result that you thought you were going to have, it doesn't exactly leave you skipping around the damn house celebrating all the valuable lessons that you learned, right? I was fucking disappointed, to say the least, and pretty damn irritated with myself. I could have invested that money somewhere else. Why didn't I even realize what the hell I was actually getting? I should have known better, right? And then I caught myself. Because how in the hell was I supposed to know something I only learned because I did it? That thought has stuck with me this week. We judge our old decisions using information that we only have because we made the decision. We're looking backward with the information that the past us didn't have at that moment. And then we're pissed as hell at her because she didn't know what current us knows now, right? Sound familiar at all? But that's not exactly fair. I'm not saying that we need to turn every damn disappointing decision into some beautiful fucking life lesson. Sometimes I still wish I'd saved that money or invested it in something else. But I do know more now than I did when I started that, when I made that purchase. I know more about what I do want and also what I don't. So was it the step that got me where I thought I was going? Um, that'd be a no. But it did change what I know. And that means that I get to make my next decision with a little bit better information. And that's the part that I don't want us to miss. A step doesn't always have to take you directly toward the result to move you forward. Sometimes it just shows you where you don't want to go. And we have to remember that that part is useful too. So when figuring it out ends up keeping us stuck, obviously, I'm not suggesting we all start making major life decisions without thinking them through, right? That would be really bad advice. But there are things that we absolutely should research and plan for. But there's also a point where you have to just start asking yourself, do I genuinely need more information? Or am I just afraid to make the fucking decision? Because I can research the hell out of something. Give me something I'm unsure about, and I can Google, watch videos, make lists, compare fucking options. And 3 hours later, I have 17 tabs open and somehow feel way less fucking clear than I did when I started. At some point, more information is not going to give me the thing that I'm actually looking for. And that is a guarantee. I want to know I'm not going to waste my money. I want to know for sure I'm not going to regret the decision. But you know what? Nobody can fucking promise me that. And when we refuse to move until we know for sure that something is going to work, we can spend a hell of a long time just standing in the exact same fucking place. Ask me how I know that. This is where I think it's worth getting really honest with ourselves, though, because there is a difference between I don't have enough information to make this decision yet, and I have enough information. I'm just fucking scared I'll choose wrong. And hey, I have been both. Probably in the same fucking week. Maybe even the same day sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. And if what you're missing really is the information, great. Figure out what you need to know and then go get it. But if you already have all of the information to take one small, reasonable step, and fear is the thing that's keeping you there, more research probably isn't going to solve any of that shit. Eventually, you have to move without knowing exactly how it's going to turn out, even if it's scary. A reminder that you don't have to solve step fucking 10 when you're just starting step 1. I think this is where we make things so freaking overwhelming, and it's not even necessary. We start trying to solve problems that aren't even ours yet. You make one decision, and then immediately your brain freaking races ahead. Okay, but what if I do that? And then this happens, or this happens. And now you're mentally dealing with something that might happen 6 freaking months from now when you haven't even made today's decision yet, if it even happens at all. I get it. I do this all of the fucking time. And lately, I'm trying to catch it by asking myself something super simple. Do I actually need to solve that today? And shocker, a surprising amount of the time, the answer is no. Because step 1 might change step 10. You could learn something along the way that changes your direction completely. So all that fucking energy that you're spending trying to figure everything out, every possible thing that could go wrong or happen, you might be worrying about problems that you're never even going to have. And personally, I don't know about you, but I have more than enough real fucking problems. I sure as hell don't need to start manufacturing more imaginary ones too. So instead of trying to figure out the whole road, just come back to where you actually are. What decision is in front of you right now? What information do you actually need to make it? And once you have that, what's next? That's it. Not what's next after what's next. Just what's next. The next step can really be something very small. And I want to make this really clear because I don't want take the next step to turn into another version of go big, take the damn leap, change your life today. Because sometimes, actually, most of the time, that is just not realistic. Life can be so fucking complicated sometimes. You might have people depending on you. You might not have the money or freedom right now to make the huge change that you'd really like to make. And I completely understand that way more than I'd like to. But that doesn't always mean that there is nothing you can do, right? If you're miserable in your career, you don't necessarily need to walk into work tomorrow and just fucking quit, although I've done that. Your next step might just be looking into what else might be available to me. If you want to start something of your own, you don't even need the entire business figured out tonight. Trust me on that one. You need to figure out what makes sense to do next. That's what makes this feel so much more manageable to me. I'm not asking myself, how the hell am I going to get from where I am right now to this completely different life that I want over there? Because that is fucking ginormous. Instead, I ask, what can I do from here? Maybe it's just make one phone call, have one conversation, make one decision today. And that is enough because the next step, it isn't supposed to finish the journey. It's just supposed to get you to the place where you can see the step after it. There's another piece of this that I've been thinking about, and it has to do with confidence. For a long time, I think I thought confidence meant feeling sure. I know what I'm doing. I know this is the right decision. I know it's going to work. But I'm starting to think that's not really confidence. That's certainty again. And we've already established I'd love some, but apparently nobody is delivering that today. Confidence to me is becoming something a little bit different. It's being able to say, I don't know exactly how it's going to all work out, but I trust myself to deal with whatever comes next. That feels so much more real to me because I don't know what's going to happen. Neither do you. But think about how many times you've already had to figure shit out that you didn't know how to handle beforehand. You had to change direction. You've made some fucking mistakes. And yet, here you are. So maybe we don't have to wait until we're completely confident before we move. Sometimes taking the step is how we build the confidence. Because every time you do something you weren't sure you could do, you give yourself another little piece of evidence. Okay, I handled that. What's next? And if the next step doesn't work, you figure out what you learned and decide what the hell comes next. That kind of confidence doesn't require life to actually cooperate with you. And that is the kind I want. So, what is your next step? I want you to think about one thing that you've been stuck on lately. Just one. We're not sitting down after this episode and attempting to overhaul our entire fucking lives. I've tried that approach. Would not fucking recommend. Just pick one thing you've been thinking about, worrying about, or even just putting off. And then ask yourself 3 questions. What do I actually know right now? So separate what you know from what you're afraid might happen because they're different things. Next, what am I trying to figure out that I don't need to know yet? Put that shit down for now. Just set it aside. And finally, what's one reasonable next step that I can take with what I already know today? And that is it. It doesn't have to be the perfect decision. You don't have to know what the hell step 5 or 10 look like right now. Just take the next step. See what you learn and make the decision after that with the information you have then. I think we just put so much pressure on ourselves to have everything fucking figured out. We want to know where we're going and how the hell we're getting there. But most of life isn't really built that way. We make the best decision that we can make with what we already know. And then we learn something. And from that new place, we decide again. Some steps are going to take us exactly where we hope that they would take us right away. But others are going to teach us that we need to change direction. Both give us something we didn't have while we were just standing still. So whatever you've been overthinking lately, stop demanding fucking answers to the questions that you don't even need the answers to yet. Come back to where you actually are and ask yourself, what's mine to do next? Not next month, not 5 decisions from now. Next. You don't need the whole damn plan. You just need the next step. Take that one. Then trust yourself enough to figure out the next one when you get there. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If somebody came to mind while you were listening, someone who you think is trying to figure it all out, even the 10 steps, the 20 steps from now, before she'll take that first one, I want you to send this episode to her because maybe she needs this reminder too. And if you are the one who needed it, well, I think you know what you need to do next.